Here I'll be sharing some tips that may be helpful to you in acing your next college or university clerks examination. First one is studying. You have to study if you want to, get good grades. Unless you already know the subject, like if you feel like, yeah, I know this thing, so there's no need for me to study, or it's too easy for you, then yeah, go right ahead. Don't study. Do whatever you want. Watch a movie or play basketball or whatever. But if you are just, um, and let me say an average student like me who doesn't really know that much, you have to study, and I will share with you how you can study effectively. Talking about actively recalling the information that you studied. When you study and you are rereading or you are highlighting your notes, your brain feels like they know information, but they actually don't. That's why sometimes when you've read the thing, you've read it like 10 times, you come to the exam, you think you know it, but you try and write, but it's not just working. How can you actively recall? You can do this by using things like flashcards, or you can do practice questions, or you can just assess yourself, answering your friends or your study mates questions, and they answer you questions too, and you can use that to know your knowledge gap and get a better understanding of things you're doing. I don't really use flashcard because I don't have flashcards, both physically, both digitally. There's no one. The method I use most is practice questions. I like to do because my course or my major right now is actually is a science-based major, so it's essay intensive. So we have to write essays. So I usually do short answer essays question. I know thing as the way the exam will be, because the exam is usually long, a long answer essay question, but the short form still helped me too in knowing the concept that will help me to write boldly in my to write properly or to write well for the long answer essay questions. And sometimes I also practice the long answer essay questions for myself. Like I write down the question and then I answer it. Practicing, if you're in a science major or an essay intensive major like me, can help you organize your thoughts, because you know that when they ask you questions in your test, in your exams, they kind of give you ways that questions, and want to see how you can organize your thoughts and organize how you want to write. It's not just about knowing the thing, also organize it. So for you can improve your skill, and for you'll be writing very better in your test, and that way you can score high and you can pass those classes. Not the only method of, like I mentioned, there's flashcard, there's also quizzes, just like quizzes. I read somewhere that multiple choice question is not really advisable as a form of self-assessment. I think it's because instead of just looking at the questions and then you failed some and then you be like, oh, so this is the correct one, you just train you for that, I think, that particular paper or that particular stuff, but you don't actually still understand the concept, or you have a knowledge gap. So I think if you fail a multiple choice question, it's better you go and study what you don't understand or what you don't know, why you failed that question. That is I think that would be a helpful way of trying to fill the knowledge gap. So I will not really say multiple choice questions are bad. It just depends on how the person does it. Tip that will help you ace your next exam is being physically active. I know I've mentioned this before in one of my previous videos. I guess it's actually really important. If you just study long hours and you are not really being physically active, it will not even be good for your body, and your brain is part of your body. So yes, I will recommend being physically active. It doesn't have to be something that is very, very intensive. You can dance, but you just be physically active. That way you actually help in keeping your whole health intact, which can help you also in performing good in the next exam. Next tip is sleep. Please just take your sleep seriously. For some people, because of lack of time, they have to do all nighters. They have helped people pass some grades, and depending on the person, some people actually do really good. I mean, after that day, after the test, they usually just forget the information like 2 hours later. But at least it's not something I would say is necessarily bad, because let's be realistic, life is messy. But I'll still say take your sleep seriously. If you have bad sleep, it will not really help you when you want to write the exam. So I'll say just try and find a method or a way to get your sleep in check, so that you will not feel too tired to study, or you will not feel brain fog when you are trying to write the answer to your test. And because it's that same brain that is working to help you in the test you want to write, in the exam you want to write. So please make sure you get good sleep. I've linked some studies to the 3 tips I've mentioned, how they are really helpful. Of course, there's always an doctor experience. So especially for me, it was the physical activity. This video was helpful to you, and these are the 3 tips. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.